When we could be superstars. We've been rather wrecking cars.
Hey bro, is that Jambo?
What is that stage for us? Kicking up corners. Yeah, we could be superstars, but I'm pretty sure our time is up. And so we fell off the spinning tops.
ATL Jacob. Say you my nigga, I'ma be your killer. Nobody gonna play with you when I'm with you.
Ruined it. God damn it. Oh god. Hold on a sec, sorry. Did you close that? Oh man, I heard that song the other day and like it was on some chart. This is Super Gremlin by Kodak Black. Man, I heard that song and I was like, dude, yeah, we can be superstars. And I'm like, oh, this beat's fire. And then it goes, women down in ragging cars. I was like, oh, starts to build, little bass hit. I was like, oh, this is gonna be fucking amazing. And then he starts rapping. I kill him, be a killer, and rockin' him, kill him, be a killer. Man, I'm sorry. Anyone who's like, and I see comments like, there's people like, I've actually watched some review videos where people are like, he killed it. And I killed what? Killed the fucking producer's dreams, maybe, yeah. Fuck. I'm gonna be your killer, and be your filler, and be your riller, and a filler, and briller, and be your miller. Like, man, could you imagine, like, Drake comes in over the top of that? You know, I'm not gonna try. Superstar, walking cars, walking around on the bar. I don't know. But yeah, I just heard that. I was like, man, so many people could have absolutely destroyed that. So very upsetting. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the pair part where I continue to sing you songs. We have a lot of audio-only listeners, so hello to you. Yeah, so anyone who follows me on Instagram, follow the Pear Pod on Instagram, lads. Come on now. You know, we're a community, and that's where, you know, you get the up-to-date daily stuff. You see, like, some setup bits, behind the scenes, and whoever follows me on Instagram would have seen yesterday I put up our RSS feed, which basically is how I broadcast to the world. And you get analytics from it. And yesterday we had I think we had like 25 downloads yesterday on audio, which is minute, you know, in any form or in any metric. But for me, like, that's fucking crazy. 25 downloads in a day. It's nutty. So thank you for everyone who's listening on audio. Look, we're a visual show. I'm an expressive character. So I'm always going to say I think that the visual is the best way to consume this podcast, but I appreciate not everyone has the opportunity to do that or likes to do that or whatever. So thank you, audio only listeners, and welcome to the madness. So thought I'd do a little different kind of a pod today versus the usual you know, headlines and MMA reviews and stuff like that. It's a bit of a quieter week, so I'm going to do a bit of a story time for everyone. So our neighbour came by, or I was outside coming home, and when I came up to the door, the neighbour was outside from downstairs, and she was like, "Hi, excuse me, do you live here?" I was like, "Yep." And she was like, I was like, "Yeah, leave me alone, what do you want? Fuck off." And she was like, "There's like high radiation levels in the building." And I was like, "Oh, okay, right, that's not good." And she was like, very dangerous, gotta be careful." And then she was like, "Do you live in this one or this one?" And I was like, I pointed at mine, and she was like, "Okay, the one in this one is really bad." And I was like, "All right, well, you know, inform the authorities, you know, due diligence." But that got me thinking of a story of something that happened, which, like, at the time was fucking terrifying and like devastating, and I was like, you know what, like, you'll know why. But looking back now, like, I remember vividly at the time during this, I was like, if this all works out and everything just goes okay, I'll be forever grateful. So I vividly remember that moment. So now looking back, I think it's time to tell that story. Oh yeah, I got a tattoo just before we start. It's fire. meat truck. Sorry, audio only listeners. I'm just showing my fucking peaks. Okay. So for our international audience, a J1 is essentially, well, before we start, this is how I nearly poisoned my friends to death. So for people who don't know, I know we have some American listeners. A J1 is where students can go over to America for 3 months or for the summer and work in America and experience America and all that shit. So, you know, it's an opportunity to go over and get pissed in the States. And so, let me see. When we must have been just 21, I'd say. Yeah, we must have just been 21. And myself, Phil, and Kev, two the boys. This was like, and at the time, so we obviously have a relatively big group of friends. Not relatively big. They probably had like between 10 and 20 really close mates from school. And just for whatever reason, people had different stuff going on this summer. I know one of our friends, Ian, who was going to come, actually contracted fucking lymphoma that year and wasn't able to come, but recovered greatly. Cheers to Ian. And so it ended up being myself, Kev, and Phil, which was at the time an odd trio. Not an odd one, but to be jetting off the three of us, we were like, okay. I was like, oh shit, that's like it just at the time, like, it was, you wouldn't have put the three of us together. Myself and Kev were very close, but Phil, and we were close with Phil, but we weren't like super tight. So it worked out. So the fact that the three of us were going was just gas. We ended up getting a job through my cousin on a golf course in Glen Oaks in New York. So we actually, through my cousin as well, shout out to Matt. Matt's definitely not listening to this podcast. He has better shit to do. But Matt ended up sorting us accommodation in a school nearby, SUNY Westbury, and we ended up staying like very close to the golf course in this little school. So I'll give you the setup quickly. So we arrived. I remember vividly. We arrived at the school, and like some woman lesson, the place is abandoned. And I remember we were in a taxi on the way to the campus, and we get on the campus, and we were like, okay, here we go, let's get fucking, you know, you see an American Pie, and you're like, she was a skater boy, or like fucking, this is the anthem, throw all your hands up. You just want to go do a, you think you're going to go, you know, it's blowjobs and kegs for everyone, you know. But we get in the taxi, and this guy is like super New York, and he's like, hey, and we ask him, like, what's the crack with this school? You know, is it a big fucking booze school or whatever? And expecting him to be like, oh, pep rallies, you know, all that kind of stuff. And he kind of looks at us and he goes, mainly black. I go, right. What a way to describe the school. So he drops us off at this bus. I remember it so vividly. He drops us off this little bus stop at the school, and we're like, okay, where do we go? We have like brief description of where we're supposed to be living, and we walk down towards these buildings with that must have been like accommodation, and we get into this little reception area, and this woman is there, and we're like, how you doing? We're living here, I think. And she was like, okay, and she took her information and stuff, and she goes, yeah, this is you guys. She brings us down the hall, and we're kind of like, it's a straight up, like, as imagined, just like dorm, you know what I mean? So like halls on either side, it's kind of empty and dead, and we're like, oh fuck me, boys. And then we get down to the end, and we're the last room on the right, and we go in, so the door opens, and we go, oh, so it's all of us in here, you know, sick, probably a master suite, you know what I mean? Or last ones on the right are probably like the deluxe, you know what I mean, the triples. Anyway, so we go in, you know, crack the door. It's a little hallway, and then the room opens up at the end, kind of dark. Oh, it's like nighttime. We've arrived, and it goes, oh, Jesus Christ, crack the lights, boys. Phil, crack those lights. Phil, crack. There's no light switch. There's no lights in the room, so the room doesn't come with lights. When I say the room was like an army bunker, it was 3 cots. Like, I'm thinking 3 cots, maybe, some wardrobes, and no lights. Well, do it yourself. So we quickly realized that's where we were going to be living. We were going to be living, we were all sleeping 6 feet from each other. And so we went and, we ended up making the best of that. But when we met our boss for the summer, Craig is a very large, enthusiastic, hard-working man. But he, it was almost a perfect storm, because it turned out that Craig likes dudes that fucking party, and he likes dudes that are like confident and like, I'm not saying this in like none of this is going to come across braggadocious or anything like that. I hope I'm in no way slick, but myself and the lads were very confident. We're 3 good chatters. We'll get on pretty much anyone. There's no ego there, which you'll learn later from what we did that summer in terms of like chores and tasks for Craig, that there's no ego. And so Craig liked that. And so he gave us, we went in on the first day, and we were working as essentially bunker boys. We were groundskeepers, but we weren't allowed to do any of the big jobs, so we were bunker boys. And the course is divided into 3: red, white, and blue. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, America. And the course is called Glen Oaks. It's a beautiful course, and the job was fucking sick, man. Basically, our job was to go out every day. We had to rake all the bunkers before play started. So we had to be in there at like 4 or half 4, and you go out and you rake your bunkers on your own, and that's it. And basically the course was kind of split up, or the groundskeeping staff was kind of split up into college graduated groundskeepers who do it in school, in like layman's terms, the Americans, which is why they were split up, and then there was and then there was the Mexicans, which isn't like that. Essentially, it was like all the Mexican guys who were like groundskeepers who did like jobs like us, which was like, something needs to be brushed or picked or cleaned. You call us. And then so it basically went, educated groundskeeping staff, like the guys who studied it in college. The Mexican lads, the lads who all like, did like the like not the rolling the greens task, the more like, I have to blow all the courses, all that kind of shit. There's like monotonous tasks you have to do. Then there was us. No level of education, played a couple of rounds of golf, will do whatever you want for money. That was us. And I think the reason, and this is something that I'm so glad we had, and something that I've definitely taken into my life going forward, is when you go into something, there was no one. We really did go into it with such a positive attitude. Like, we had to be up at, the alarm's gone off like 3:45, so we could get into the work for 4, and works course, and we worked like 12-hour days in the heat, and the only way to make it through was to have the crack with the lads. And if I'm being honest, there was definitely a divide between before we got there, between the American lads who were like the college educated guys, who did it like in college for schools like groundskeeping. I think it's called landscaping in the college. I don't know what they actually study. And then the Mexican lads. And what we did is, like, genuinely what we did was we kind of bridged the gap, because all the American lads really liked us, because we went out, we were there to party, and we fucking we took the crack we could give back to them, and the Mexican lads loved us because, like, we saw ourselves as one of them. Do you know what I mean? We're actually below them. They would tell us what to do when we were out in task. What, like, Craig would tell them to take us out with them as like their sort of like trainees. And it's just I at the end of it, like which was mad when we were leaving, like all the Mexican lads were really upset, because like Phil, who cut hair, would go in and cut their hair. Like we brought them all in like Gatorades and donuts on the last day, and I think we kind of, for like that summer, we were like uh essentially like a bridge between the two. Like there was definitely a more, like, I guess we can't compare it, but from what people told us, like we there was definitely a more like everyone getting on atmosphere when we were there, and they were definitely good at when we were leaving, and that was everyone. Do you know what I mean? So that was sick. But the story. Oh shit! Sorry, I just kicked the camera. Nah, the story. Okay. So, one of the days, jeez, I remember this so vividly. It's fucking hilarious. One of the days we were moving, or we used to take buggies around the place, and we were all driving around. And like, being perfectly honest, I was a bit of a moody prick. I had a bit of like a ego issue during that time, and like I kind of thought like I basically wanted, I don't know, but I had a bit of like I was in a bit of a mood at some of the days. The early days kicked the shit out of me, to be honest, and yeah, some days would be a bit of a prick. And the lad said to me, I was always like, I'm wrecked. But anyway, I got around that, and like it was generally like most of the time I was fucking sick. But one of these days, like we were driving, and I had to go and refill, or I had to bring petrol to someone to refill a machine, and I put it in the back of the golf cart. I fucking started to drive off. As soon as I started to drive off, glunk, 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 glunk. Oh my god, there's fucking petrol leaking out the back of the golf cart. If people who don't know what petrol is fucking cancer for a golf course. So like it like if that gets right, like I remember one of the days, Danny fucking Pear, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Dude, Donnie fucking pissed his pants. What the fuck? One of the days we went out and we got Donnie so fucked that they basically started talking shit, saying that we couldn't, Irish lads don't drink the way they all claimed we do. And unfortunately, not even just me, but at that time, like it definitely was us. Like we could all drink like stallions, and so we were like, sure, come out with us and we'll do that. And like my cousin Matthew came out as well. He's just 6'90", and he drinks fucking dark liqueurs like a champion. So yeah, it was the perfect storm for Donnie. Anyway, we got Donnie so pissed that Craig rings me and goes, guys, what did you do to Donnie? And he like sends this picture. Donnie's like on the floor of the kitchen, and he has urinated himself. So don't come talking that shit. Anyway, there's petrol cascading out of the back of the golf cart. I fucking shit myself. I take off my long-sleeved navy Glen Oaks pullover. I mop the petrol quickly in the hoodie to try and mop it up. And I get it up. A lot of it doesn't spill. It's only on like a bit of the path and like the grass on the path. So it's not killer. It's not any part of the course. And then so I forget about it. And I put it in the back of the car, and I'm like, when I get back, I need to put that in my bag, and I guess I need to throw it out because like my thing's fucked. I just accepted it was fucked. It was too risky to let anything leak out. So we get back. The day goes on anyway. We get back to the place. I put the card away, and I put the gasoline soaked top. God, it feels so fucking stupid now. Throw it away now. Like, I guess I was distracted, and I put it into my bag, being like, I'll dispose of this safely, I guess. And we go into the shop to clock out or whatever, and Craig goes, do you guys want to come on a lobster bake with me and some friends? And we didn't eat very well that summer. We were kind of broke, and we said yes. And oh god, I got text. Yeah, so we said yes, and he said okay. And he goes, you're going to need to like get ready and go straight away. It's quite soon. So we quickly pack up our shit, get in we have to walk back. So basically what we do is we get a cart to like the edge of the course, park it in the woods, scutter through the thistles and the nettles out onto this road and walk back into the school. We leg it back in. But I quick got to change into like our only pair of chino shorts, like something nice for this lobster bake. Quick change, quick shower, turn around. I dropped my bag. I just put my bag beside my bed. I actually think I didn't. No, I didn't. I took my... This is dumber. I think I needed my bag, so I think I took the gasoline-soaked top out of my bag, put it on the floor of our room, get changed, run out. There's a car waiting for us. We gotta go. Oh my god. So we go. Lobster bake, great crack. You guys aren't here to hear about lobster bake. Lobster bake was good. It was fine. Actually, revisiting this place is giving me fucking crippling anxiety. So we go back to the building and walk in. I knew as soon as the doors opened. Truthfully, I knew as soon as the doors opened. Smelled. I was like, oh my god, it stinks of gasoline. Oh my god, you know that moment when everything. It was like the Jimmy Neutron where your brain goes. Whoosh, everything in my head happened. I was like, oh my god, it's sitting right there. It's been soaking around the thing. Anyway, you guys know. We go to our room. Open the thing. Stinks gasoline. Stinks. Absolutely stinks. It's dangerous, like. So I grab the top. I throw it out in the trash outside. Open the windows. Our room is like, it's toxic. You can't go in there. Not only that, our room has like there's other people in the building. Do you know what I mean? It's not packed, but there is other people staying in the building. So I'm also thinking about that. And so we open all the things, and anyway, so we go anyway into the main room, and the lads have obviously figured it out, or I've told them. Or like, can't remember actually when the lads found out. I'll have to ask Kev what exactly he found out. But I can't remember if I told them, like, as we were going back, if I clocked it, or if it was just then. The lads are fucking furious. You've ruined everything. Our money's going to be gone. It's going to cost. We're going to have to restrip the room. They're telling me how toxic gas is, which I'm aware how toxic gas is, but not like that. Obviously, they're so right. Do you know what I mean? They were so right. Like I completely fucked it. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, Per, you fucking idiot. And I think we looked up. We got that thing out there and we opened the windows and stuff. And I was like, I need to figure out what I can do. You know those things where you're like, I can't just sit here and hope for the best. Like, we weren't sleeping in that room that night, and maybe not again. Like, I'm thinking, we need to go to the president of the school and be like, well, tell him what happened, evacuate the buildings, because like it's dangerous. And so I think the lads waited in the main room or took some stuff out, and like, you know, they're not talking to me. I get an Uber or whatever we could get. An Uber probably to Walmart, or I think it was a Walmart or Target near us. You know, Googling what remedies I can get to get the smell out or whatever. And you know, in the taxi, you know, sort of crying. You know, one of those ones. I was very emotional back then anyway. Still emotional now. But you know, I think I've ruined the summer, and the summer was going so well, and like, we were about to go on this like big summer trip after to make it all worth it, and I fucked it and I've ruined it for everyone. We go into the gaff, or we go into Target. I look at I found out that you need like essentially a variety of cleaners. Also lemon juice is good for it. And you just need to leave it to soak, like rags and towels and stuff, and it needs to be like ventilated out, but it's like gasoline soaks into everything. So like there was a good chance that this, like, the room would be destroyed forever, you know. Anyway, I buy all that shit, man. I'm freaking out, and I've told the guy taxi, it's like, can you just please wait for me when I go in? I need to get some stuff, and then I need to go back to the studio Wednesday, please. So your man's like, listen, man. Hey, man, stop fucking crying in my cab. Come on, man. What the fuck? Fucking, what are you, fucking 6'3", crying in the back of my fucking sedan? I continued to cry, you know. I continued. Get back. Lads are in the other room and fucking look at me like dead. Like, they must have been so. I'd pay money to be a fly on the wall. I'm sure they were like, this guy is the biggest idiot. Anyway, I go in, just straight in without like any covering on my face, just start like scrubbing. Like it smells like gas, so I'm like, oh my god, I wish this would just kill me. And like so I scrub the shit out of it anyway, and leave it all there, and bring out my duvet and shit. And Kev's just texted me there. I wonder what he's talking about. Yeah. Yeah, he's taking the piss. Glad we can joke about this now. Holy shit. So we bring our duvets out. Like, we're not sleeping in that room. So the lads sleep in the main room. I sleep like out in like the hall, out of shame. And we have to get up at fucking 4 a.m. to go to work. So basically the idea is we don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if the room's going to be safe. They basically talked me down. There was one stage I was like, I'm going to the president right now, because if this thing, our Kev had said like there's vents in the room, so this could have already leaked into other people's rooms. Like, we got to warn people. So I was about to go and like fucking, announce it to the world. Anyway, we took a day and we were like, look, we're just going to sleep out here. I think there was no one else like down our side that night. And we were like, look, we've left all the windows open. Like, the wind's fucking echoing. The room's ice cold, and it is starting to like improve. So we're like, look, let's leave it a day. Let that thing, see if the thing you put down helps. And if it's not working, we'll go in the morning. So we sleep outside, get up, go in. The lads need to go in and get their stuff in the morning. Everyone's still raging. No one's talking to me. I'm like, oh fuck, I've absolutely like fucked it. It doesn't seem to be getting any better. I remember that day at work, we had to scrub the side of this like water feature in the golf course, and I was like off on my own. And like, this was this trip was like it was all in, what I mean, for the three of us. Like, we did everything together. So when there was a rift between 2 and 1, like, it was very obvious. And I'm just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm like, we need to get, if this doesn't get better, I'm fucked, essentially. And I guess it must have been, I don't remember how many days it took. Maybe 2 or 3. I remember one day we go back in. I can't remember if it was the day of. This girl goes and she goes, it smells like crude oil in the in which I guess they means gas or petrol, which is very serious. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck's going on? Is there like a thing? So we're like, what the fuck's going on? You know what I mean? Which is, I don't like, I'm so fucked. You know what I mean? I'm so fucked if this comes out. Like, anyway, I think we go back in. I think it started to improve. Maybe like the second day. I guess I'll when the lads listen to this, they can correct parts of my story. I know Phil's going to be on the pod when he comes over. We can talk about this. So I think it started to improve, and anyway, I think we stayed in Rob Gillock's room. Rob Gillock was a guy who lived next door to us. Weird dude, man. Weird dude. Holy shit. Oh, dude, really. Told us once he'd like could have sex for like multiple hours straight. You're just like, okay, sick, man. Your room really smells. And we stayed in there a couple of nights. I think he was away, and then one of the days I was like, okay, I think it smells like relatively gone, and one of us is going to need to spend the night in here to, I guess, see if it's safe. And the lads were like, okay. So I was like, oh, I'll stay, and see what happens. And then I think we all stayed in the end. They were like, look, it doesn't really smell, so like let's just go in together. And we did. And we stayed that night, and we awoke not dead, so I was good. And I think from that we were grand. I think it. I remember one day, our the head of the whatever, the guy, hall monitor, essentially the guy ahead of the dorms or whatever, came in and was like, so like at any of that stage, if he'd come in and smelled the room any time before then, he would be like, oh, the smell of gas is coming from here, because it was definitely a topic of discussion still in the area, and we were prime suspects. So I think we got away with saying like, oh, we work around with a lot of machinery, so maybe some of our stuff smelled like it could have been us. I can't remember if we actually said that, but that was an excuse I was definitely thinking about. And then one night we're sleeping in there, and we're in the room. I think this might have been the second night we went back into the room, and we hear knock the door, and then the door swings open, and in comes Erlane. Hey, so anyone got a dollar? That's literally what he said. He was asking us, do we have a dollar? We look, hello, Elaine. Erlane was his name. African American gentleman. And he comes in and he goes, anyone got a dollar? Now, we had beef with Erlane for different reasons, because the guy's just guy's a dick. Anyway, so he came in and he goes this, we could hear him like, as he came in, he goes, what's up, guys? Anyone got a dollar? And we look, smelling. I was like, come on, he was smelling to see if the oil was, the smell of petrol was coming from here. And the smell was gone. So he comes in and we're like, no. And he's like, no one got a dollar? Like, no. Get out. You know, one of those ones, like, hey, fuck off. And he does, and he leaves, and then as soon as the door closed, we're like, oh fuck, he was less smelling for that. And we got away with it. But yeah, that is the story of how I nearly poisoned my friends. Now, looking back on it, hilarious story. Hilarious, not really. Hilarious just of how much of an idiot I am. And there's more stories like that. Maybe I'll tell more stories like that. But that summer forged a friendship between myself, Kevin, and Phil. Because, you know, at the end of it, basically we booked a flight, you know, over to LA. And we had a flight home from San Francisco to Ireland at the end of the summer. Or at the end of August. So we're like, okay, so we have to make it from, I think we flew into San Diego. To make it from San Diego to Vegas, back out to the coast, up to San Francisco for this flight. And we have a green Jeep that converts into that has a tent on the top that converts into a bed. And that's how we're doing it. So just roughing it like that, and like, you know, we literally did not have a pot to piss in. Like a fee in Vegas for a broken glass nearly, you know, destroyed the entire trip, and us financially, and our parents financially. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If you guys enjoy this format, I have much more hilarious stories from my past about, you know, I have injury stories. I have some hilarious fight stories, all of which were lost by me, so they'll be funny. But yeah, I have lots of stories, so if you guys like these, we'll do more of them. I thank you all for all of your continued support. If you've made it this far, if you'd like the video, or like on whatever platform you're listening to it on, leave a comment, share it, any of those things. I would very much appreciate it. Okay, people, this has been our very first story time, which I hope turns into more of a bigger feature. Sorry to Kevin Phil for nearly killing you. Hope you know, we're all good now. I presume I was best man at Phil's wedding. I think everything's clear now. Hope this doesn't bring back any negative memories. Obviously the statute of limitations, you know, it's not, don't come on, you nearly killed your friend, you should go to jail. Fuck you, by the way, I'm not going to jail. But yeah, okay.
When we could be superstars, we've been rather wrecking cars.
Hey bro, is that Jambo?
What is that stage for us? Kicking up